Every morning, when you open your eyes, the day hasn't even begun, yet your mind is already running. For most people, the very first thought isn't, "What will I create today?" but rather, "What happened yesterday?" You might recall the stress from work, problems at home, or even an unpleasant memory from years ago that still lingers. Your brain works like an old cassette player. Once play is pressed, it replays the same tape over and over. When your first thought is about something from the past, it instantly triggers the emotions linked to that event. If it's a memory of an argument, anger arises. If it's a failure, feelings of frustration follow. Here's the thing, emotions don't need the real event to happen again in order to be reactivated. Imagine yesterday, someone dismissed your idea in a meeting. This morning, just thinking about that scene can make your heartbeat quicken, your breathing shallow, your shoulders tense. All of this happens before you've even gotten out of bed. Then, you do what you always do, reach for your phone. You scroll through vacation photos of friends and feel a sense of comparison or inadequacy. You check messages, your work group is already discussing that unfinished project. You glance at the news, headlines are filled with chaos, crisis, and conflict. In just 5 minutes, you've been pulled back into the you of yesterday, the one with the same worries, the same emotional reactions, the same daily patterns. The day hasn't truly started, yet the past is already in control. Neuroscience and psychology tell us, when your thoughts and emotions are anchored in the past, your body and brain will run today's life on yesterday's program, which means today will look a lot like yesterday. And tomorrow, probably the same again. Research in neuroscience shows that by the age of 35, about 95% of who we are, our behaviors, emotional reactions, and thought patterns, is automatic. In other words, only 5% of our daily actions are true conscious choices. Automation saves energy. You don't have to rethink every little decision. But here's the downside. If your past patterns haven't been making you happy, your automatic program will keep creating the same kind of life over and over. Picture this. Someone gets home from work intending to read a book and learn something new, but once they sit on the couch, their hand reaches for the remote or the phone almost by itself. 2 hours pass, the book remains untouched. Or every time a certain colleague speaks in a meeting, you feel instant irritation, even if they've said nothing wrong today, because past experiences have trained your body to react that way. This is the habit-emotion loop. Same thoughts to same choices to same behaviors to same results to same emotions to reinforce the same thoughts. It's a closed circuit that's hard to break free from. Joe Dispenza was once a chiropractor and an avid athlete. During an Ironman triathlon, he suffered a severe accident, multiple spinal fractures. Doctors advised immediate surgery to implant metal rods for support. Instead, Joe chose an almost unthinkable path: no surgery. He spent hours every day in deep mental practice and meditation, rebuilding the image of a healthy spine in his mind, calming his stress response, and activating his body's own healing systems. Within months, he was not only standing, but walking again. This experience completely shifted his career and life's direction. He began studying the intersection of neuroscience, quantum physics, biochemistry, and psychology, exploring how human consciousness can influence physiology and behavior. In his talks and courses, Joe repeats this truth. If you want your future to be different from your past, you must stop using the emotions and thoughts of the past to shape your present. And in his view, the only true way to break the old pattern and create a new self is through meditation. He explains, meditation allows you to temporarily step away from your environment and habitual emotional triggers. It brings you into a state that's both deeply relaxed and fully aware, a state where you can cross the barrier of the analytical mind and access the subconscious, the program library that runs 95% of your life. Only in this state can you rewrite the code, install new beliefs, emotions, and behaviors. Meditation isn't an accessory, it's the core method of transformation. It's not just for relaxation, it's a practical tool to create your future and rewire your brain. That's why every one of his programs revolves around meditation paired with guided emotional and mental exercises, allowing participants to directly experience the shift from the old self to the new. Most of the time, we live with an invisible wall between the conscious and subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the part of you that listens, thinks, and decides in the moment. The subconscious is the massive background program that silently drives most of your behavior. Between the two is a barrier called the analytical mind. In daily life, our brainwaves are usually in the beta state, fast, alert, scattered, making it hard to enter the subconscious. Meditation helps slow brainwaves down from beta to alpha, even to theta. When brainwaves slow, the analytical barrier thins, allowing direct access to the subconscious, the place where deep, lasting change happens. Meditation isn't mysterious. It's a structured practice. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, focus on your breath or a chosen image. Gradually, your body relaxes, your mind detaches from external noise, and you enter a state where you're awake yet deeply calm. In that state, you're no longer pulled by your past experiences or anxiously predicting the future. You gain the space to choose. What feelings do I want to bring into my life? What state do I want to live in? Joe Dispenza offers a radical idea. Don't wait for something to happen before you feel the emotion. Feel it first, then the event will follow. Don't wait for your bank account to grow before feeling abundant. Don't wait for career success before feeling confident. Don't wait for the perfect relationship before feeling loved. Scientific studies show that the brain activates the same neural circuits when processing a vivid, emotional visualization as it does during a real event. When you deeply imagine your goal and generate the matching emotional state, your brain believes it's already happening. Once that emotional state becomes familiar, your thoughts and actions naturally align with it. This is why emotional rehearsal is so powerful. By feeling like the better version of yourself each day, you train your mind and body to live that reality before it physically arrives. Transformation isn't just about adding new behaviors, it's about letting go of old patterns. Joe compares it to tending a garden. Before planting new seeds, you must clear the weeds and stones, loosen the soil, otherwise, even the best seeds won't grow. Psychologically, this means recognizing and interrupting familiar but unhealthy emotional reactions. When you begin to change, your body will resist because it prefers predictable emotions, even unhappy ones. Through consistent meditation and self-awareness, you begin to choose differently. Over time, the new emotional baseline and behavior patterns become familiar, and the new self emerges naturally. Your future reality slowly becomes your present reality. Change is not a journey someone else begins for you, it's a lock only you can turn. The future isn't far. It's born in your choices, and focus in this very moment. When you free yourself from the past, you stand at the doorway of a new life. Push it open, and the future will walk toward you.